Do you know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. Yeah. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Forex.Today YouTube community of more than 20,000 foreign exchange traders. We gather here today to conduct technical and fundamental analysis with the overriding goal of planning our trades in advance. Let me remind you that trading is risky. It's not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. My name is Wayne. Nice to meet you. I apologize for dressing casually today. I tried something new. It was called exercising. Oh my God, I exercised this morning. It's horrible. What a horrible thing. Why do you guys do it? I did so many crunches and now my stomach hurts. I feel queasy and nauseous and dizzy. Why do you guys do it? Huh? Death wish probably, huh? Anyways, so I feel terrible because I tried exercising. So anyways, boo-hoo. Good morning. Hey, we have another month in front of us, another week, right? We're in December, looking at January already. What a great time to be alive. What a great time to be a trader. So I propose that we go through the charts today, looking at gold, oil, and Bitcoin. Dollar pairs and yen pairs, and how about anything that you want? We'll do what you want to do. How about that? You be the boss, I'll be the servant. Is that okay? I got my chat over here. I got to move the chat. Anyways, I'll figure that out in a second. So ask questions, get involved. Let me know how I can help. There are resources made available to you over the last 20 years of me doing this. By the way, I've been inspired to add another course sometime in the near future on hedge funds, the hedge fund industry, hedge fund strategies, and everything else hedge fund. Is that okay? Do you want a course on that? I don't know. Maybe it'll be summer school. Do you guys want to spend 16 hours in lectures on hedge funds and hedge fund strategies? Setting up your own hedge fund? I don't know. Ugh. So anywho, in the description below the video, this is better, right? This is better, isn't it? How's this? Is this okay? Whoa! Is this okay? That's probably too far away. In the description below the video, there are links to resources. My book, there's a link. Buy it. If you already have it, please leave a review on Amazon. Leave a review on Amazon. Even if you found it mediocre, that's okay. I'm not a professional writer. I didn't go to school to learn how to write books. Although your very first class at Harvard is always on writing because there's a Harvard method, actually. So that's the first thing. Yeah. Oh, the teapot. Oh, no, that's a beer stein I found in my... There we go. There you go. Yeah, that was a beer stein I found. I bought that in Prague 25 years ago. 25 years ago. Anyways. What else? Read the book. I think it's okay. It's pretty good. It's a pretty honest book. I am starting to write a series of 3 different books. The first one is probably going to be on macroeconomics because you guys chose. The second one is going to be on trader psychology. And I'm really looking forward to that one because, hey, fundamental analysis, Macroeconomics, straightforward, right? It's like writing a textbook. Something interesting about trader psychology, huh? That's just sort of the intangible. So it's going to discuss, vision and intuition. So that should be interesting. So start with that strategic and tactical Forex trading. You'll also find a link to my community, fxbootcamp.com. Where's the bull mask? The bull mask fell off the... it's there. It's right here. It fell off. FX Bootcamp I started about, 20 years ago? Because honestly, I was lonely. Lonely. I was, right? So lonely I could die. So I'm streaming, right? So it's great. Honestly, it's really good. I'd be shocked if you paid the $88 to join. I'd be shocked if you thought it was worth less than $1,000. I think you could have paid $1,000 for a course somewhere else, and this is better. I'd really be shocked if you're like, okay. Yep. And I'm going to I got a lot of emails about like, Wayne, I want to join, but I want a Black Friday, Black Monday, some kind of special. And I haven't done it for a couple of years, but I thought I'd put together an annual membership. So look for an email probably today or tomorrow. I'll let a few people, if you want to do that, if you're willing to commit for a year, yeah, I'll give you a sweet ass deal. So look for that. But I don't have a promotion or anything yet, but why not? And then, look, you need a broker. You need a broker. If you're worried about a broker trading against you, maybe you want an ECN, straight through processing business model for a broker. I recommend Trader's Way. The link is in the description below. If you don't want to click the link, don't click the link. If you want to go in incognito mode, go in incognito mode. But type in tradersway.com, open up a demo account, give them an opportunity to earn your loyalty and respect like they earned mine. All those links are in the description below. All those resources have been created over 20 years. The courses are good, I'm telling you. Join the community. It's worth it, I'm telling you. And that's that. Okay. Boo, 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 boo. Oh, where's my mouse? There's my mouse. So here we are. Let's do the poll. Let's do the poll. What's on your mind, guys? Let's see. End poll. Thank you. Thank you for participating in the survey. Statistically, we have enough data here. A data set requires a minimum of 30 data points before you can extrapolate any kind of trend. USD, dollar on your mind. Okay, that's great. Some oil, some yen, gold. It's amazing how so many people want to talk about gold, but then nobody trades it. Or it's just low on the totem pole. Okay, so that's interesting. Burned wants silver. Yeah, but it's probably about the same thing, right? What's the correlation between gold and silver? I don't know, but I've been told that silver is just the retail version of gold. I don't know, but I've been told gold is the retail silver's retail version of gold. Huh? Little Marines, I think, right? I don't know, but I've been told silver's retail version of gold. Doesn't quite work. All right. All right. Let us Ha! So they have fairly low interest rates. Okay? And high inflation. So what do you think they're going to do? How nice. All right. So what do you think? Should we pay attention to this? Huh? What do you think, guys? What's your trade plan for the week? Are you buying Aussie? Are you going to buy a dip? Good. Where? Weekly central pivot? Excusez-moi. Okay. So that could be important. See, their interest rates are just not that high relative to the rest of the world, huh? Well, remember the concern there, Bradley, is their real estate market, which is obviously sensitive to interest rates, is quite vulnerable. It's come down quite a bit, right? Do we have any Aussies here? I'm going off the top of my head. Australian real estate's down 20%. Is that about right? Yeah, for sure, right, Hope? What'd you think of the swing trading meeting? Ravi says down. Really? Is Canada down 20%? Down? Really? US is down, right? Oh, Hope said, are you kidding? Loved it. Cool. Well, I don't know. It's your first one, right? So that's cool. I'm telling you, people fight. People don't want to join for some reason. Why don't people want to join? I think people have been burned by gurus. think there's an industry of retail traders burned by gurus. Terrible. Anywho, so we got that going on. And then soon after, pachow, Aussie GDP. Okay? Okay, so we go, so it's really like practically 24 hours, but okay. So tonight, huge RBA interest rate decision. Tomorrow night, Aussie GDP. Okay. Thursday night, we have China CPI. Remember, that's going to affect your Aussie. How do you trade it? Probably CPI. Probably Aussie, AUD, for your CNY. Okay. I suppose we could even pay quite a bit of attention to the import-export data out of China. But we're not looking for facts right now, are we? We're looking for subjective data, aren't we? Is China going to open, yes or no? Oh, by the way, how about let's do something interesting. I'm going to do something crazy here. Here's a poll, completely anonymous poll. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. Let's see. Remember, I don't know how you answered. Doesn't tell me who, so this is completely anonymous. Have you been burned by a guru or paid money for a worthless training course? Yes or no? Oh my God, that is such an amazing question. I want to know the psyche of the market here. Ridge, your chart? What do you mean by your chart? I missed it there. Is that right, Lucas? No, well, I'm lucky to have you in the community. I want to travel so much to meet you guys. One of these times I'm just going to just do it. But anyways, so I was thinking how cool if we were all together. It looks like quite a few people would go to Nashville if we were to do some sort of event. And I think, Lucas, you said it was 12-hour drive or something, right? Maybe be faster and cheaper to fly in. Ridge says URLs, but how would I know your chart? I can't see your chart, Ridge. I'm not following what you're saying. All right, look at this, guys. About 60% of retail Forex traders have paid money for a worthless course. Wow. Oh, go to your link. Go to the link. What? What link? I don't see no link. If you posted a link, you were probably blocked. $5,000. Yeah, I don't see a link, Ridge, so it probably was blocked automatically. So anyways, look, I can give that type of feedback. I meet every day in the day trading group. If anybody wants feedback on a trade plan, they just have to ask. Every day I meet with the trading group, day trading group. Then twice a week, I meet with the swing trading group. Well, I don't, but twice a week the swing trading group meets. And a big part of the swing trading group is reviewing your technical setups and discussing them and me kind of challenging you. Sometimes most of the time, just picking your brain. Well, what about this? And what about that? And why didn't you do this? And why did you do that? But we have a dedicated meeting now every Tuesday for about an hour and a half. Every Tuesday, every single member of the live trading groups, whether it's day trading or swing trading, meet for what we call a stop, look, and correct session. And so look, just a whole meeting dedicated, Ridge, for you to get feedback on your trade setups and your trading behavior and your trading analysis and your entries or your exits, or, I mean, there's all these resources, right? There's all these resources. You should check it out, man. Rich says, good call on Euro going down to 105.55 and stuff. Cool. So let's go back to the calendar and then we'll do our charts, okay? By the way, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And only 60% of you have been burned. Okay, well, I guess that's good. I would not have been shocked if it was 80. So 60, huh? 60%. Okay? No. Rich, no, I didn't mean it like that. No. I didn't take any. No, not at all, man. I'm just saying there's a whole hour and a half. Like, dude, like, again, join FX Bootcamp and you will get help. And I know apparently if 60% of everyone listening's been burned, you're like, oh, here he goes again. But look, it's the best way to get help. All right, so moveon.com. Yeah, we got some Euro GDP. Do we really care? Okay. Now, the big one here, Bank of Canada, this is a big deal. This truly is a big deal. And CAD is being crushed, destroyed right now. And so what is the Bank of Canada going to do to fix this? Now, compare and contrast this with the Aussie, for example. So let's do this. Snippy, can't you see? Let me do a snippy. Snip you, snip me, snipping together happily. Okay, let's do a snippy, and then go over here and compare and contrast as much as we can, if I can fit it in there. Come on now. And then we take a look at this. Does that fit? Can you see? Get my EpiPen. Okay. This is AUD. No. This is AUD. This is CAD. Okay, they're both expected to raise, I would imagine. Maybe not. We'll have to take a look. But currently at 4%, currently, let's call it 3%. Okay. Okay. But I think the expectation is CAD slows down the rate of change and Australia speeds up the rate of change. So it's not the absolute, it's the pace. And probably the terminal. Does that make sense, everyone? Oh, that's interesting. Ahmed's been burned by signal services in the past. Oh. Yeah, rainy morning in Georgia. It is. I'm going to do some outdoor stuff today with the family. Oh, yeah, just a reminder to the day trading group. I will not do a day trading session today. I'm going to spend time with my wife and my children, even taking my kids out of school. And we're going to walk around outdoors on a cold, rainy day because love will keep us dry and warm. So thank you for allowing me to have some personal time off. Yeah. Hey, Johnny. You out? Right. Darko's like, yeah, so the Bank of Canada is already showing signs, right? Showing signs of a slow pace or an early pause. So that's why these things are happening. So our big questions now today as traders, I mean, look, the simple question is risk on or risk off for today. But you know, what's the bigger picture like? Is this going to continue for the rest of December? Is this going to continue for the rest of December? Those are right. Is this going to continue for the rest of December? And that's the question you should be answering right now. Not just a pissy little day trade. Okay? Oh, my pleasure, JGB. My pleasure. Absolutely my pleasure. Rich says off until May. I get that. I think it's too early to make the call, but I understand the thought. Right? I do. There's probably going to be a false rally out there somewhere. But, right, somewhere. Probably in the middle of Q1 and then maybe double bottom out in April. Okay. How many people attended Trade Non-Farm Payrolls Live number 200 on Friday? Yeah. Very cool. Thank you for supported me in that endeavor, backing me up. Appreciate that. Coolio. Well, quite all right, Bern. Soccer always takes. Soccer's got high priorities. Well, very cool. Thank you, everybody. All right, so let's go through the world. Let's start with, what do you want to do? Commodities, gold, oil, and Bitcoin? Stock market? We'll do gold, oil, Bitcoin, and S&P 500. Is that right? Is that good? Or do you want me to go through additional stock markets beyond the S&P 500? Do, 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 do. Ba, 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 ba. So we have S&P 500. Well, you can throw down the FTSE. Throw down the Nikkei. Throw down the Euro 50. Throw down Aussie. What do we got Euro 50. Where's my DAX? Oh, there, and DAX. Got to do DAX. Aussie. Do we want to do DAX and Euro 50 or throw down Hong Kong? Let's do Hong Kong. Sorry, Euro. Sorry, Euro. So now I just changed everything and I'm like, I just ruined my commodity setup. No. You can go to Profiles, Save As, and let's call this Scan Stocks. Chow. Snap! That just happened. So now I have a new profile and we can go through the global stock market together. Forever. Never say goodbye. All right. Let's see. I got to fit this on a little bit better into. Yeah, that's right. For some reason, FX Street has it on private. I think maybe because they put it on their website. They don't want the YouTube views. They want their website views. Okay. So anyways, does that fit? That looks like it fits. All right, so let's organize this better. S&P 500, DAX, FTSE and DAX. That feels like those are the primaries. The secondary markets, Australia, Japan, and Hong Kong. Cool. So how many people would appreciate that I go through some or all of these every day? That you'd want me to go quickly through the technicals of all the different stock markets? Or you're like, Wayne, I don't trade the stock market at all. Don't care. Wasted time. Peter's like, love it. Okay. Yeah, one will do, right, X-Trader? You're like, yeah, right? One and done. Only trade S&P. Yeah, well, because the correlation is probably pretty high, but okay. Anywho, let's take a look. Okay, let's take a look. This is S&P 500 on a 5-minute chart. Any chance that that's what's going on here? Yeah, whether you use moving averages or, right? Or price action. That's what's going on the short run. Busted out a little bit more. And we're really kind of, I mean, you can see my price action pivot points have this set this way. Okay. And we've had a big up, then we had a big down, and then there's a big, and you can see all this volatility. Oh my God. Okay. And now we're back down here. If you read my article that I wrote, a week and a half ago, one of the things I talked about was that this is just going to create a lot of volatility and not really much of a trend. And volatility is bad. And maybe that's an example. Okay, some people made money here, but many, in particular in retail, probably did not make money on these moves. The straight down, the straight up, more likely brought loss than profit. Huh? Oh, thank you, Jim, for posting that. Okay, anything below 50 is negative, y'all. Okay. So anyways, taking a look at this, oh my gosh. Yeah. So this is probably a bad day for most in the market. And then of course now it's coming down to go back to the old bottom. So what is the direction? Well, maybe there isn't a direction. Now, analyzing just on the hourly chart, okay, looking at my price action pivot points. So let me go to my indicators. There we go. Price action pivot points. Okay, looking back 24 hours, 24 candles in this case, there's no trend. Okay. Okay. So be careful. Be careful. You know, it'd be interesting if this set up a head and shoulders. Wouldn't that be interesting? So I would not be shocked if we had more up before we headed back down. So, you know, look, we're farting around here back to 4,000. Hey, it could go to 4,300. It's fine. You know what one executive said? An executive from Bank of America this morning said, up for now on the stock market. And then they're like, 3,000 in the first half. You want to see what that said? That's the right? A senior executive at Bank of America said this about the S&P 500. Oops. Let's do this in yellow. It's just so great to see. Okay. Okay. Now what I have is 3,000 recovery and then maybe even lower. So like I've done this weeks ago, but that's what Bank of America is saying is why not something like this in the next 3 months? Why not? Now that would set the direction because, okay, from, let's mark this in light blue. From this point here to this point here, okay, is risk on. And that dictates everything else. Because I trade based on Newtonian physics, which gives me 50 trades. Okay? Kind of like what XTrader is saying. We only need one and then you get 50 trades from that. Okay? And I'm saying 50 trades, not 50 shades. Don't get all excited. Okay? And then from fluorescent pink to down here is risk off. Completely different set of trades. Now, the sad thing is in the world of central banking policy, some, I won't say many, but some of the correlations around the world have broken what I would put in those baskets. Like, for example, typically in a risk-on basket, I would sell yen. In a risk-off basket, I would buy yen. But yen is its own beast right now. Okay? So you got to treat yen as yen and pull that out of the basket. One of the things we did on Thursday is I had a group prepare a presentation on how to make money if the Bank of Japan announces the end of their yield curve control. We know it won't be before December 20th, but what if you woke up at the end of December or early January and Bank of Japan just says, it's over? What do we do? How do we make money? See the kind of preparation that we do? We already have contingency plans for all of that. So anyways, we are trending down. Okay, we are trending down, but over the last 24 days, we've been in an uptrend. And you can see if I went back further, the analysis would say downtrend. So we're in a long-term downtrend. Okay, you can see I'm trying to grab some of this stuff here. Okay, long-term downtrend. But currently we're moving up. So be careful. Okay. Okay. That's true of fundamentals. That's true of technicals. It's all there. Okay, so let's go a little more quickly through everything else. What's going on in the FTSE? Okay, you got to be careful here. Well, first of all, definitely an uptrend, but we're in a sell zone. Okay, this is a sell zone. This is where bears are going to sell if there are bears. And right now there are two buy zones. Okay, there's a buy zone in here. Let me make a green. Let me do this sort of green. This is a buy zone in here. Okay, and the next one's in here. So again, you want to look at it like my price action pivot points. You want to buy a dip, right? Looking at the daily chart, if I were me, I could only buy the dip because of this. Okay? I can only buy the dip, so at what price? So now you can try to get a little more specific on your technicals, but you got to get that set. If you don't have that set, it's probably not going to work. Okay? Right on, Johnny. I'm glad. Yeah, I thought that was good. I mean, I enjoyed it, right? I really did enjoy it. We did that, what, a year ago or 6 months ago? We did something similar. It might have been at the beginning of yield curve control. Yeah, but anyways. So look, plan A then goes like this. This is your current buy zone. Plan B is probably next week. Okay? Or is more in line with your monthly play. So plan B resides in here, doesn't it? So we're going to call this plan A for bull. Okay. This is plan B for bulls. This is plan A for bulls. Okay. And it will look something like this. Okay. Or loss. Okay. Or do it in slightly different colors, sort of, I don't know what color that is. Okay. Hoo-up. Hoorah! Okay. Cool. So, and let's do some DAXy. Take a look at DAX. Everybody likes trading DAX. And DAX is where it's at. Again, I don't have, right? You should see this right away. Very, very bullish. Okay. This isn't, by the way, you notice this? You know, once we got out of here, it's kind of a OOP type trade, which means kind of get out somewhere around that price. But nonetheless, now we're out of, right? That was an out of position trade. And if there are bears, they live in this world right there. Now, I don't think it's going to be that easy because you need to, you know, you'd have to breach all this other stuff that I put into play on the FTSE. Okay. Okay. So you have the down to that zone. And then this chart currently, the way the chart reads, let's say it knows nothing about fundamentals, which it doesn't. It's only technicals. So it says this. Yeah, below 50, so it's bad. Cool. So anyways, that gets you, right? That gets you a sense of what's going on in the world. Okay. Pretty nice. Okay, pretty nice. Maybe one thing we could change here. Let's change. Take a look at Hong Kong. Yeah, just blew the doors off the year, huh? Pretty strange to kick off MO. Now, you might say professional traders that trade the Hong Kong stock market, they don't use pivot points. That was the conservative bearish low predicted back in 2021. Okay. Now, the best selling price would have been this move here on the central. Okay. That predicts this price here. You notice how smooth the price action was until we got to that price, and then it even gapped up. Why did it gap up? Investors got out. Look at the green candle that occurred. Look, red, 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 boom! Huge green candle. What did they do? Profit taking. What'd they do here with the gap? Profit taking. Interesting, huh? And then look, this is a strange number. I don't care about M0, but somebody did, huh? Look at that. Amazing, right? Amazing. So somebody out there is paying attention to some of these numbers, in my opinion. Very cool. So what's the next one? Well, I would go into monthlies now. Let's go back to the. Okay. So currently we're working our way up to the east side, right? And this 21,000 is probably pretty important. Let's pop that open again. Let's look at the last 6 months. Okay. Yeah, somewhat seems somewhat reasonable, right? Okay. Over the last 6 months, looking at the Hong Kong stock market, okay, this is a sell and this is the target. Okay, this is the sell and that is the target. Okay, this is the sell, that is the target. This is the sell, that is the target. This is the buy, that is the target. This is the buy, that is a target. How many people here believe that these monthly pivots could be helpful for trading the stock market in Hong Kong? While you answer that, and yes, I'd appreciate if you actually answered it because you're answering it in your brain. Now, the opposite of that is if you were a buyer, you would have bought here and got knocked out of break even. If you were a buyer, you would have bought it here and break even or maybe a loss. This one, you didn't even get a buy. This one gapped on you, but let's say you did a Friday front run. You would have bought here and got knocked out of break even. And then you were a buyer here and you bought it and you made money. Then you were a buyer here and you bought it and you made money. So, okay, break even, no trade, break even, big winner, big winner. Or you do 1,000 pissy little trades. Or you do one monthly trade. Has anyone got to that point yet where you're actually testing out on a demo account that you're making a trade of the month? You buy it based on a strategic decision and you hold it for the full target. Yeah. Well, you got to do it on the demo, right? So maybe we'll work on that in the new year, like actually writing down a business plan for improving your trading for the new year. Cool. Oh, wow. So you got to get there. So look, that's just the Hong Kong, right? That's just Hong Kong. Now, if my Chinese ADRs can keep, right, get some up, get some giddy up. So anyways, going back to gold, oil, and Bitcoin. So I go back to my commodities and see, remember how I changed all my commodities to stocks and then I flipped, right? And then I renamed it. So now I can go back and everything's the way it was. Cool. Going to move my stop a little closer if you don't mind. Yesterday. Okay, anywho, we'll see what happens here. Did you guys get my tweet over the weekend? I tweeted on Sunday that OPEC decided to do nothing, which is not cut production. I tweeted it. I also tweet things related to central banks, like what Powell says, what other Fed speakers say, and nothing else really. You retweeted my retweet? Awesome. Cool. So anyways, my oh my WTI. See, if you cut production, oil prices go up. So if you don't cut production, well, they doesn't necessarily mean down, but right. But right now, the play that's happening is demand destruction. Now, the other side of this that I'm trying to play here is I think we're going to learn that the reason, right, or not reason, let's just say OPEC is not cutting. Again, not bullish. And meanwhile, Russia's going to flood the market with oil on the short run. What do you think of that? So we'll see. I don't know. Flood it and then cut it. Scorched earth policy using oil as a weapon. Why not? So whatever. We don't really care about that. That's not fundamental analysis. That's not technical analysis. But it's food for thought. Also, what if the senior executive from Bank of America was right? What if we're going to go down to 3,000 on the S&P 500? Oh, Jimmy actually got that tweet. Right on. You mean mine on OPEC or one on Russia flooding the market with oil? Yeah, I try not to pay attention to most of, I still find most of social media stupid. I don't think there's another word for it. So I don't know. I guess I'm that funny, duddy old man all of a sudden. But I hate the fact every time I look at my Twitter feed, and it's getting better now that I'm like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. So suddenly the Twitter feed's getting better. But I hate the fact where like I read something and 20 minutes later I'm like, oh yeah, I want to read that again. And I go back and my Twitter feed is different. And it's not that it just scrolled down. No, I read it 20 minutes ago. I go to my Twitter feed and I scroll and it's not there. It's just not in my Twitter feed. And things seem to come in out of like, it's not chronological order either. And I'm like, this is weird. I just clearly, right? I hate to think I'm the old man. Man, I was a leader in technology, an investor in technology. Did you know I actually have touched the very first personal computer in the world? I should say the very first Macintosh computer in the world when I worked at Apple. It was called the Lisa. And this was the machine that Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs made, right? At, I think, Wozniak's mom's house. And it was made out of plywood. I found it at a conference room. I attended a meeting, right? I worked in a building across the street from Infinite Loop. One Infinite Loop was the big headquarters at the time. This was a tiny, small building, the original Apple building. And it was just piled in the corner. Now it's in a museum. So it's weird to think like I saw computers being born to suddenly, I don't like the Twitter. The Twitter is stupid. All right. But anyways, X-Trader says, am I happy with the fold? I love the technology, but it's failing. It's failing. It's failing. I almost bought a folding laptop And you're like, all laptops fold. Well, but anyways, so I love it, but it needs a few more iterations. It's close, but you would have to be comfortable spending. So what are they? $2,000? X-Trader, right? And what are they? $2,000, something like that. Probably every 9 months you'd have to buy a new one. So probably every time they come out with a new model, you'll need to buy a new model. So anyways, think of it that way. All right, so going back to here, I got a play going on oil. It's a complicated world that we live in. Gotcha. I sold last night, actually, the 5A cross off the M3 at 82, and I had about $2 profit, which, hey, dude, a $2 day is okay. That's the equivalent of 200 pips. Then I was down 100 pips, and now I'm back to profit. So, yeah, welcome to the world of trading. Okay, but it'd be interesting if this could wake up and head down. What's my target? What's my target? What should my target be? There are two acceptable answers. Yesterday. Okay. What's my target? If you don't add, if you don't answer, I'm going to throw an ad. I'm going to pop an ad on you. If you don't answer, if you don't like the carrot, then how about the stick? 72, 78. Okay. M1, even better answer. So like if we were doing, physics or calculus or something, you would answer with fractions. Thank you, Johnny. Right? Yeah, you'd actually answer with a fraction because you could go out to the 1,000th decimal of accuracy, right? So anyways, M1 is as accurate as you can possibly get. So let's take a look. Sharona. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Oh! Darko's got it. 67, I guess, right? Just above 67. Am I going to get it? No, probably not. The shorter term play here, okay, is if this M3 holds, then M1 is the target at 72. Okay? Now, if this central holds, if that's the top of the month, then we got to go down to 64. 62. Sorry. So let me redo that. Okay? If this is the top of the week, that's the projected bottom of the week. If this is the top of the month, that's the projected bottom for the month. Okay, so, you know, I could do something like this. Make it a weekly trade. Swing, baby, swing. Okay. TA Global wants to do some gold. We can do some gold if you want. Look at that lovely S&P 500. Always feels good because I'm hedged. I hate being hedged and losing money on the hedge. But when it falls, it's great. But the thing is, I'm not fully hedged, so I'm better off with the stock market going up. But I'm really thinking of taking profit on a bunch of stuff, throwing all that into the hedge, letting it fall for 3 months, and then taking all the money off the hedge and buy everything back. But my plan is to retire early and live on my Shiba Inu. Okay. What do you think of this? Huh? That's somebody's buy right there. All right. Gold. We want to do XAG. No, that's silver. XAU, baby. I don't have XAU. We have this Ethereum. Who made me do Ethereum? How rude. XAU, baby. Here's my XAU. XAG, XAU. Okay. All right. You got to just mark this. And it's still bullish, technically. What are you going to do about it? Okay. Now, we've breached the 21. So this is what it says. Okay. This is just the chart. This is not my opinion. It's just the chart. It says up and then it says down. On the 4 hour anyways. Let's go out to the daily. And daily says you can buy it again around 1750. Cool. What do you think of that? Next year's pivot points, baby. Next year. Okay. So it's really selling off, right? Check this out. $18.13. $18.13. And we got to 1807, 1808. Okay. This could be the end, bro. This is the end. My only friend, the end. Okay. Let's break this down into simple bite-sized pieces. What matters is this, okay? There's a range. Okay. Breakout, pull back, 1,500. I'll never look at gold again. Huh? Yes, Peter. Yep. Yeah, I haven't jacked up the price. I keep thinking about it, but I got too many other things to do. Here's my thought for the annual membership. Tell me, give me feedback. If it's stupid, it's stupid. Okay? $2,400. You get a year of the day trading group, and a year of the swing trading group, and a year of QuantBox Pro. So that saves you like $800. So I'd have to manually add you, but I could do it. I'd only do it for like 10 people. That'd be it. Okay. All right. Well, you three you're in. If I'll do that. So that's what I was thinking. So I'll put that together for you. All right. I'm going to see, by the way, if I can use the bootcamp site to set up so maybe I can give everybody my chart templates. Like how many people would like this pivot points that predict next year's pivot points? Yeah, that's it. That would be it, Jim, right? Yeah. Specifically. Yeah. So I was thinking like I should have it so that maybe everybody here, even if you're not a bootcamp member, could log in and download. And yeah, so I've been brainstorming. Now you guys should have it. It should be up there. But if not, I need to do an audit of all the downloads because there's a couple of hundred downloads already on FX Bootcamp. But what I'm saying is maybe you know, I don't know, open the doors for everybody. But it should be there already. But if not, we'll look at it. Oh my God, hang on. Oh, I see what it's doing. No. I'm trying to get a hold of a person, and I thought they were finally getting back to me. All right. So, all right. Yeah. So that's that. So that you should have these tools, right? I think what happened, Kishore did make this, but I think what happened is we found out that this annual pivot points calculated pivots slightly different from the ones that we use for like daily pivots and biased pivots. And somebody noticed the difference and, you know, complained. They were a squeaky wheel, which is totally fine. They were very polite, but very persistent. Like, I can't trade if the two pivot points are like 9 pivots off. Okay, that's fair. So Kishore went back and reprogrammed them, but then now the annuals don't predict. So yeah, but I have the original one where, look, when I'm looking at annual pivot points, they could be 9 pips different. I'm okay. So it does work in this case. So I have some that do work, right? Cool. So anyway, so there's gold. What do you think? If you're on the up and up on gold, you're going to you want sort of that inverse kind of head and shoulders kind of thing here, kind of. I think, you would have to breach this pivot first. You have to like clear 1800 if you're going to go back above 2000. But I don't see that because this is the peak of inflation. Right? And why do you buy gold? Why do you buy gold? To hedge inflation. So if inflation's down, then I find it hard to believe currently. I mean, look, things can change. You have to have a bias, you have to be opinionated, and you have to have conviction, but you can't be stupid. You can't be so stubborn that you can't see reality, that you have so much pride on being right that you can't see that you're wrong. Let me tell you, that's a tough gig. That's why I want to write a whole book. I'm pretty certain I'm going to do this. I've been meditating for more than 20 years. You guys know that. But I'm wondering, and of course I'm answering as I say it out loud, right? I'm wondering if you're pretty good at fundies and you're pretty good at techies, but you're sort of like, oh, I don't know, what's the right word? Mediocre in results. Okay. What's the missing piece then? So then I think, well, is there anything that might be unique? Like, I don't think there's anything unique about fundamental analysis or what I do with fundamental analysis. I'm self-taught. I learned. Okay. I'm self-taught and I'm learned. Do you know what the third thing that I'm self-taught? We'll call it psyches. For almost as long as I can remember, so not as a child, but under the stress of being a high-tech entrepreneur, I started meditating. Okay. So I don't use a method of meditation. Again, I'm self-taught. So I never sat down with a guru for any of this, actually. And like this idea of putting on spandex and sitting on mats and crossing your legs and closing your eyes and clearing your mind. I think that is not for me. I was going to say stupid, but look, I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody. I've never been interested in that. I don't have that kind of mind. I would not want to turn my mind off. You know, and this is gonna sound funny, and I don't know, maybe it puts me in bad light. I don't know, but one of my best friends in the world is me. I love my mind. I really do. I spend a lot of time, hours a day, inside my mind, and I like it. It's weird. It's a different, right? It's different. It's not me. It's a different sort of entity. We talk and we discuss and we organize and we plan and we do things. And so it's not clearing your mind. It's sitting with a mentor and structuring. It's very active. It's very strategic. It's awakening. It's focusing. There's so much to it. And so I wonder about, if I spend hours a day thinking about fundamentals and thinking about technicals, does it impact the way that I see the market, see my trades, see my planning, see the charts? Do you think that kind of work is important to, does it impact the way you trade? And I believe the answer to that is yes. Now, then you take this idea here, because now it's the way you look at fundamentals and the way that you look at technicals, okay, and the way that you handle stress. You have this vision, but how does that impact the next level of vision, which is sort of the internal mind's eye of vision? And that's intuition. How do you intuitively know to become a bear? How do you intuitively know to become a bull? How do you intuitively know to stop? Oh, I don't like these market conditions. There's a lot of intuition into what we do. You're like, ooh, one more trade? I got 5 in a row. But, how many people here believe intuition is a big part of being a successful trader? Anybody? And would anybody agree with that? Now, maybe how you get the proper intuition, that's a bigger question. But do you think if you took 100 successful traders, do you think they have a intuition in their trading? So I want to explore that idea, and I'll do that in a book. But it's not something that I just picked up. I've been doing this longer than I've been doing Forex. And so now I'm wondering, I'm like, is that a part of what we all need? Now, I don't know if it all works for everybody, but if you have a mind similar to mine, maybe it would work for you. Or you could have a mind that's like different from mine, and it might work for you. And then others, I wouldn't be shocked if it does, yeah. Or you're just like, no. Because again, for me, the thought of turning my brain off is horrifying. So, and I know other people pay a lot of money and they go to fancy places and they have fancy outfits and and you sit and you turn your mind off. Now, I know a lot of people where that's actually necessary. Where the things that trigger your mind very often are negative. Right? What you think of yourself, what other people think of you. Your interpretation could be everything is bad, everybody is bad. Like you could, if there's, I think there's only two forces in the universe, positive and negative. And so I think I have a lot of positive energy. Now, I struggle with it and I have to keep it going and it's exhausting. But I think by and large, I'm a positive person. I hope I come across that way. Sometimes I'm reminded that I'm not. Morena once sent me a big long email and she's like, "You're a jerk." Something to that. And she outlined all the why. And I'm like, "You're right." Because I was coming across negative and I realized, but I'm not a negative person. But I understand that there are people in the world that could be negative, where you start from that beginning. And you would want to turn that off, wouldn't you? Could you possibly trade if all you had was negative energy? When you're looking at your charts, you're like, I can't do this. This is stupid. Everybody loses money. Everybody knows it. People think I'm a gambler. I'm embarrassing myself. You're like, whoa, 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 whoa. So, maybe even that's a good starting point of how do we take in all this information? How do we handle our internals? But then how do you put this together and then do your fundamental analysis and then do the technical analysis and then get to a point where you can carry it out? And I know I'm very visual when I meditate. It's very visual. I see. I literally see with no eyes. But I can lose time. I could lose time. 5 minutes can become an hour and I don't know the difference. But then when you sit at the chart, you take all of that and intuition kicks in because you've already seen it. And you've already seen it because you've already done the work. So pretty cool, right? So I think we should explore that more. Is that another part of, think of it this way. What if you were a professional athlete? What okay, if you were a professional athlete, and I know former athletes that, big leagues, right? And they say like in the locker room, you're on a team. He's like, but even inside the locker room, everything's competitive. Like literally everyone, everything, it's all about competition. Competition on the team, competition against other teams, competition to get time with the coaches, competition to get the higher salaries, just competition to whatever, everything. So a professional athlete, especially nowadays, will do whatever it takes to get into and stay at total peak performance. Do you guys believe that? Absolute peak performance? Psychologically, physically, and skill-wise? Hey, everybody in the NBA is good. Right? So how do you become a franchise player? How do you get the $20 million bonus? I'm always surprised when they're like, oh, well, this guy has a crazy work ethic. What? Other people making $20 million a year don't have a crazy work ethic, right? So, yeah, Jim's like the virtual drum. Yeah. So anyway, so I'm like, we should cover that too. And so anyways, sorry for babbling, but it's sort of an exciting, it's exciting for me to explore that as a trader, because I know I've been doing it for longer than I've been a trader. So maybe it's part of it, huh? Think and grow rich a little bit, having a realistic counseling. Yeah. No, I wouldn't write it that way, like think and grow rich. No, I would look at it more like I was saying, more like how because what we do is competitive, right? We're competitors. So how can we be more prepared than the other person on the other side of your trade? Okay? Okay. So that's kind of how I would look at it. How do you get to that level of focus? All right, cool. So I'd love to explore that with you guys. It'd probably take a year of my life. So the first book is going to be on macroeconomics. So basically 5 years of Harvard in a book. The book is going to be $175,000. Hey, it's a Harvard degree. Come on. That's a deal. I mean, dude, that's like $250,000 worth of value for only $175,000. Huh? Come on. You're like, snap that up, Bubba. Anyway, so no, I want to make the book super, super cheap, by the way. I had a discussion with a couple of publishers, and I want to have a couple more discussions, but I don't like that last book that Wiley published for me. They never told me it was going to be $80. I had no idea. I really had no idea. So I want this book to be like $25 or less. You know? So anyways, just again, thinking out loud, apologize for that. Okay, let's move on.com. Oil's working out for me. That's cool. That's great. Exotics are getting crushed, right? But before we go there, let's look at indices here. Dollar trying to gain some ground on the short run. Yeah, Denise says improve skiing by watching Warren Miller videos for sure. And part of that is his voice, isn't it? All these inputs are important, but I would think it's because the way you watched it. I see a lot of people watch golf on TV, but they don't become better golfers. But I'm convinced if you watched properly, you could. People don't. It's like my idea in my current book, where I said, look, most people in Forex do not keep trade journals. And the ones that do it wrong. So I discuss for, a third of the book on how to do it right. And so I bet you intuitively, you watch differently than most people. You literally learned how to ski. But most people just watched other people ski. Okay? So, we'd have to discuss all these things, right? So, anywho. Okay, Euro doing really well. Aussie giving back. CAD still. But, this is Aussie probably profit taking in case there's a disappointment tonight with the RBA. Yeah, I suppose hope. I can't disagree with that. But I think the closest analogy that for me, from my life experience, is golf, because it's a really interesting thing where you have your, you learn the movement of swinging a club and hitting the ball. You learn the game, the rules, and then you learn things like where you want the ball to land. Do you want it to land 150 yards from the green, or do you just hit it as close to the green as possible? You know, like there's all kinds of different things that you have to learn. But it's so pure and so simple. You whack the ball. Just as simple it is to sell or buy something in Forex. It's just a click of the button. There's nothing to it. But yet it's so difficult. And the way you win as a golfer, okay, is consistency. And like trading, there really isn't someone else trading against you. In golf, while you set up to take a shot, you're not going to get tackled. You're not going to get hit in the head with a club. Nobody's going to kick you, right, in the knee to prevent you from swinging properly. It's just you and the ball. So your competitors watch. So let's say it's a foursome. Someone else just tees off and everyone's like, and then you go up and take as much time as you need. Everyone's going to be quiet. People are going to stand in a spot to not distract you. And now it's just you and your ball. But what is your skill level? Will you swing it properly? What's the wind doing? Where do you want the ball to land? What's your next shot going to be? All this is racing through your mind. But dude, just hit the freaking ball. What's the big deal? Okay. Boom, hits it into the trees. What the hell? Okay. I've seen it. It's amazing. Top 25 golfers hit balls into the trees several times on a round. You're like, dude, how come you can't hit the fairway perfectly every single time? Okay. So I think it's closer to that, right? Golf is it's just consistency. Now, if you want to be a top 25 golfer, you have to be able to play very, very consistently and then know when to take risks. But if you were a below average golfer, right? Where you're top 50 every time you play, you make the cut. Every Sunday you're golfing, but you never win. You make a lot of money. You imagine never winning a golf tournament, but you're always on TV on Sunday golfing? So you always make the cut, but you never, ever win. You're not even in the top 10. You're not on the final scoreboard. You just finish. Oh, pretty good. -3. Oh, yeah, that's good. Well, -12, 1, and there were 8 people at -8. You're not even remotely close. Yeah, but you make $5 million a year plus endorsements. Okay, that's the first level where I want everyone to get there. Now, a hedge fund manager is more like a pro golfer where not only do you have to have that level of skill, but you have to know when to gamble the whole wad. And I'm not going to teach you that. That's scary. Yeah, Johnny, that's also in the Legend of Bagger Vance, right? Where one guy says, every third shot, that's all you need. Every third shot has to be amazing. Right? That's it. That's all you need. So think of that. Let's translate that. What does that mean, every third shot? Okay? If you have in 3 trades, every 3 trades look like this. 1 loser, 1 break even, 1 winner. You are ripper profitable. Think of it that way. Borrowed directly from the world of golf. Okay? 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 You have 1 loss for 99 pips. Holy crap. Okay, there's your loss. Okay? Or let's put it this way. Okay, first trade today, you lose 100 pips. Second trade of the day, you lose -3. That's what I call break even. I want to record that as a loss, not a win. And 3, you make 333 pips. Now you're on the PGA on Sunday, putting for 23rd place. Now it's Johnny Muff's last putt. If he holds this, he's tied. He's tied for 23rd place. But it's enough. It's enough. I'm not training you to try to win big. I'm trying to train you to become consistent. And now a couple of things that might stick out for some people. Why would I record a break-even trade with -3? Holy crap, 99 pips? I can't have a loss that big. And then, gee whiz, what are you talking about? 333 pips? That never happens. I never get more than 40 or 50. Well, whatever. Okay? Those are 3 things that you need to learn. Yeah, well said, Johnny, right? 66% of the time, it works every time. It's a great tattoo. Okay. Aussie getting destroyed. Okay. Now check this out. This is a buying opportunity. Let's get in it. Let's get in on it. Okay. This is a buying opportunity. Okay. This is a preparation for a lower high. Slingshot, baby, slingshot. This is preparation for a higher high. So something's going on. Some of these are strong and others are weak. And it's not necessarily the US dollar doing it. Let's look at Euro. And we're just riding the moving average. Not a big deal. So you could do it this way. You could do it. But this is where it's at. Let's go here. Okay. What do you stink? Well, it's the only trade that exists on this time frame. Boom, 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 boom. What do you think? Oh, I've gone too long today, haven't I? Anyways, that's the only trade that exists on this chart. And you're like, but Wayne, what if it falls? No. What if don't exist? Okay. So if it reverses, then it will reverse. Okay. So what does it mean if we get something like this in the future? The market is reversed. But I wouldn't recommend trading it now. All I see, if you're going to use technical analysis, is this. Could change in the future. In fact, I believe it will change in the future. And to me, that's much more interesting. But that's it. That's there. Well, how do you know it's going to work? Oh, I don't know if it's going to work, but that's the trade. And there's no other. We can look at Piggy here. What's the trade? Okay. That's plan A. Plan B is down in here somewhere. But this is an OOP. And an OOP should get us up into that zone with a reasonable amount of velocity. And then maybe that's all over. Okay? It is what it is. And if you're like, well, I want this to go down. Well, you don't sell that. What could you sell? Well, let's do that very quickly. Hang on. Let me kind of adjust this to make it easier to see. For me to sell this, I would need to breach the 21, pop up, and then you would sell here. And we saw that on a different pair, but just not this one. Does that make sense? Remember, it's just technical analysis. So let's see. Let's do a summary here. We did gold, oil, Bitcoin. We did global stock markets. We did dollar pairs. I guess I could go through the yen pairs, but it just seems like I've gone a long time today. So maybe we'll just leave it at that. We'll leave some meat on the bone for tomorrow. I hope that you show up tomorrow. If you're new to this channel, maybe subscribe. And if it's not too much trouble, could you click the thumbs up button? I'm hoping that YouTube will consider this quality content. And I'm going to go create the annual membership. So a few people can sign up for that. And I will see you tomorrow. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. Have a wonderful trading day. Remember, day trading group, I'll see you tomorrow. And also remind, tomorrow is the stop, look, and correct session. So tomorrow is big. And one thing I'll probably need to ask you guys is like, if the stop, look, and correct session and then my day trade, if that's too much, I'm wondering if I'm wearing you out. I want you to stay focused and fresh and excited. And sometimes I worry that we're throwing too much at you. And, if we should do like, the stop, look, and correct is super important, but maybe we don't need to do the day trading one right after it. You know what I mean? But it's just back to back. There's just so much, right? So much. So anyways, I'll get some feedback, right? Yeah. Yeah, Ryan has led, I looked it up somewhere. It was like 800 of them or something. I can't remember. He's done a lot, so he's good. All right. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average.